So I don't know if you guys remember, but when I was supposed to meet with Helga and Jan and Sneervel because we've got the new Peruvian organization, after all this work that I've been doing with you guys, I'm trying to grow and use different methods and what have you. So I asked you guys if you had any recommendations about what might be a good way that I could lead something similar with those guys. And so the two main things we did, the first session, because we already done two now, is we kind of had 4 leading questions, and everybody wrote down their responses to those 4 leading questions, like where do you want to go with the organization, how do you expect that it might be able to help you personally, and what scares you about me. There was a fourth one. But we took those, and then everybody wrote down their responses, and then we kind of talked through everybody's responses and to see what kind of crossed and what didn't cross. And then from that, we took everything and we made a target with like the most important things in the middle and the more important things going out. And we took all the responses that everybody had and we aligned them all on the target, which took far longer than I had planned for. And Helga did a great job helping to prep for that particular part of the process, which is really cool. And she and I kind of switched off a little bit who was leading it. It was mostly me, but that was fun, kind of having a different team interaction, having that kind of different way of doing things, because my style tends to be very much, I'm going to lead a meeting in the meeting. So making kind of a level playing field, I think is really nice and something that I wanted.
Do you think it made a difference of how much the other people who wasn't you interacted in the meeting or gave their opinions?
I'm not sure how much more comfortable it made them. Everybody who was there are folks that I've been working with for years who feel fairly comfortable with me. I'd like to believe at least that every single one of them has always approached me. What it forced, I don't think, was necessarily a comfort, but a requirement to be proactive, which not all of them always are. So everybody had to be involved, which was really nice. And then it kind of pulled out the thought processes that people have, which don't always get the attention they deserve. If I am to say something, oftentimes that is what happens. Likewise, if one of them is to say something, sometimes that's what happens. But it's not common that we dedicate the time to really understanding each other without necessarily even trying to arrive at the best solution, just kind of get all the ideas out there, which is something that I really appreciated. So it helped me at the very minimum understand them. I'd like to think that they felt the same. So it wasn't something that I was very conscious of, is I didn't want to just do it and then have that be a step that didn't have any impact on Windows, which is very possible. That might have happened. We had this cool little meeting and then it just disappeared. So I would also emphasize that after that, Sneervel took all of that information and then he and I basically found the initial things that kind of overlapped a little bit, and we made 2 lists. Things that scared us about being in an organization, or things that were risks that we need to address. And then we made a list of kind of what the goals of the organization should be. And then in the next meeting, we went through both of those lists together with the goals first and kind of condensed them into 10 main goals for the organization. And then we saw the list of risks, and if they weren't addressed in the list of goals, we modified that. So basically, you guys have been inspired the goals, the list of goals that are going to operate the Peruvian organization from here forward. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.